Hey, greetings everybody. Hey, what's going on here? Well, today's date is March 22nd, 2016. 10 days before I move. 10 days before I move to California. To Slab City, California. Hold on, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. I sort of need a little bit more focus. Hold on here. Get your water, get your coffee, get your tea. All right. Well, time is 11:08 p.m. All right, so let's get down to business, man. I took off all of the pictures, my paintings, the magnets off of the refrigerator, and all of the other walls, with the exception of this calendar. Can you guys see that? I'm assuming that you can see it. I don't know if you can or not. Alrighty, I'm trying to get the best lighting here, so man, where to start, you know? And I'm just like the past couple days, you know, it's like I was saying, man, is this shit for real? Am I really leaving? Am I really moving? Well, about a week ago, I have reserved a 12-foot moving truck. So yeah, it's official. April 1st will be my last day. Will be moving day. I'm gonna get the truck at 10. The night before, I'm gonna stay over at Mom's house, and you know, it's like it will be a sad moment, I think, you know. You know, it's like, because like we do hang out with each other, you know, quite often, I would say. At least a couple times a week, where she picks me up. For me to go to Zumba class. I don't mean to get all emotional so quickly. You know. But I have to look at the bigger picture here, you know. You know, I have to look at the bigger picture. And you know what? I'll be back. You know, it's like my main purpose of going to Slab City is to create my large paintings. Where I can't do that here. You know? Where Slab City I can have as much space as I possibly can dream of. I'm getting at least a daggone acre for all the paintings and the fitness equipment that I envision what Land of Oz is gonna be. I'm gonna call it Land of Oz. You know, and my first year there, take the breath away. I'm just listening to the jams in the background. This is my club divine playlist. Man, I'm thinking about turning it down so I could focus on what I'm talking about. Excuse me. You know, change is good. You know, change is hard too. You know, it's like if you're in a situation where you're stagnant. Yeah, let me turn it down a couple more notches. I can't really talk right now. Hold on. You got it away. Okay. Alrighty, hopefully this will be a little better. Alrighty, where was I? I just knew it was time. I just knew it was time. You know, I was like, yes, I'm very grateful for the apartment that I have here. You know, but at the same time, I'm not growing, I'm not building, I'm not creating. All I'm doing is just sitting on this fucking couch, listening to fucking talk radio all fucking day. You know? And that's no life. You know, it's like I sort of felt like, you know, kind of like being in a marriage or like being in a marriage that the reason that I'm in the marriage is because of shelter and food. Nothing's there. I was like, fuck this shit, you know. It's like, I'd rather sleep under a fucking tree, you know, than rather being in a zero growth, zero love, a zero expansion marriage or something. You know, well, it's like, I don't care what I have, you know, it's like, especially here in Naperville, Illinois, that the apartments out here is ridiculous, man. You know, it's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not paying 100% of it, you know. It's like, but even if I was working at a job that I don't like, paying $900 per month, that would be the minimum amount of rent that you would be paying in Naperville, Illinois. Don't get me wrong, Police, awesome. Firemen, awesome. It's safe. It's beautiful. But for me right now, it's not worth it. You know, it's not worth it. I need to create. You know, it's like, and I always go back to the question, and I share this question with you. If you won the lottery, let's say $500 million, tonight you won the fucking lotto. And the next morning you cash it all in, and you got about $250 million after taxes. What would you do with your life? What would you do after your splurges? What would you do after your splurges? You know, car, you know, some clothing, some jewelry. I don't know. Me, I don't do jewelry, so I don't know. I think it's a waste of money, honestly. It's like, ooh, it's shiny, you know. Just a daggone, put some glitter on your wrist and shit. Put some daggone super glue. Make a design on your wrist or on your fingers. Dip your hand inside some gold and silver glitter, and bam, and you're all blinged out for about $5 versus $500,000. Anyways, I'm not here to criticize all the bling here. You know, I'm just, you know, I was like, what would you do if money was not an issue? That you're done with the money game. What would you do with your life? You know, I was like, and I think the first thing I said, motherfucker, get a warehouse. Get a motherfucking warehouse and do your fucking paintings, man. You know? That was the first thing that came out. If I had won the lottery and that money was not a factor to anything, what would you do for the rest of your life? What would you do for 6 months? You know, it's like everybody else is working. Everybody else is doing their own thing. You know, and that's what I told myself. It's like, motherfucker, get yourself a huge ass warehouse and do your paintings. Do my massive 7, 10, 12 shit. You know, it's like, now anything is possible now. You know? And yes, I did not win the lottery. But that question just opened up my purpose, my being in life. You know? And I was like, fuck, you know, it's like getting a warehouse out here, motherfucker, you know, it's like, I know, I've been on Craigslist trying to find an entry-level warehouse. An entry-level warehouse is at least 13, 15 $100 per month. You know what? I don't, it's like I'm not able to do that. So what now? What do I do now if I knew that I could not afford a daggone warehouse? I go to Google. I go to God. Well, Google is sort of like God, it's like it's all knowing. It knows everybody. So, it's like I went to Google and God both. It's like artist, free land for artists or something like that, and just been Googling, and I came across a Slab City, Slab City came up. Like, Slab City? What the fuck is Slab City? It's like I never even heard of it before, it's like it's kind of I wouldn't say underground, but it's if you know anybody that lives there or went there, you know about it, and so it's like I think it's popular in different social groups, and I've just been and another thing about Slab City, it seems like almost all of the residences have their own YouTube channel, which I found it to be, very confirming, I guess, because like I do YouTube videos myself, and so it's like I like to express my views and my way of thinking, or just sharing my journey in life. And so it's like I've watched quite a few videos about Slab City, and it's like, and then I was like, holy shit, it's like they got an internet cafe over there. It's like, what? They got a Saturday night, they call it a talent show where bands come in and play, and I was like, what? It's like, and then they have a drumming circle. It's like, what? I was like, holy shit, and then I found out they got a wellness center over there, and I was like, what the fuck is going on over here? And then I came across they got a hostel over there. Now hostel is not what you think it is. Before I knew what hostel was, I thought it was a brothel. It was like a brothel? I was like, oh snap. But it's not a brothel. Alright, a brothel is probably like a place where prostitutes give out services, physical services. Let's just put it that way. But it's not a brothel, it's a hostel, which is a place